Back on from his 9 strikes in a row in the first game. Opens with a double, frames 1 and 2 in the second game.
The man from Wichita State College, good Tenpin bowling school, majored in business, so he'll have some idea how to manage all those winnings. Oh dear.
Strike. The man from Belmonte, he's so yay.
Oh, he bounced it all the way down. But he bounced them all out, and that'll do.
He bounced it on the right line. An absolute double whammy on that lane, right in the pocket, and he's going to run away and hide because not the best shot in the world. What a great result.
Belmonte is still in the house. Barnes then has had all sorts to deal with in this one. He's had the disappointment of not quite managing to polish off that 300 game. But he's come up very nicely with it. He's fighting hard. And once again, he's just concentrating on getting the job done.
Looking for 3 in a row.
Doesn't get it.
That's what we call the carry contest. To all intents and purposes, it looked absolutely identical. Chris can't believe it. He's scratching his head. Rings a Tenpin in the corner. Maybe just a fraction light on that head pin, and that could be the reason. Out comes that spare ball. He hasn't had to shoot many of these in this match. Gun barrel straight. Takes the Tenpin away with that low friction spare ball.
Just millimetres in it, and this is how it looks after 3 frames. This game is not over by any stretch of the imagination. Well, the Aussies have a phrase, having fun and getting the job done, and you can definitely apply that to Jason Belmonte and the way he loves to conduct himself up on the stage. But I think this young man's got to knuckle down and concentrate here. Beautiful. Turkey for Belmonte. Well, they're following each other, aren't they, Cass, as they gently edge their way board by board across this foul line. It's fractional changes in the way that they're delivering the ball, but they are following each other.
Yeah, it's also good to see this lane condition holding up. They've had to make just minimal changes. As you say, they're bowling in the same sort of area, so could be ripping at one of those lineup. But at the moment, both are looking great. Again, look at that single pin standing. So much power in the back end as that ball went through the 1-3 pocket. It cut through, hit the 5 pin, and just went straight on. No deflection whatsoever, and that's why the 9 pin's standing up. Chris wants 10 here, and he knows how important that a single pin like that can be.
Pressure's on Barnes. Belmonte is going to have an opportunity here to start asking the question. But as I said in the first game, for me, Belmonte has to hold off that one thought. I'm going to beat Chris Barnes. Don't think it until you've done it.
2 strikes, 2 spares for the man from the USA, the professional tour. He doesn't want spares.
He doesn't even like throwing them, does he?
Absolutely not.
Almost feels insulted. Yeah, there's the change.
Yeah, just a fraction slower on that last shot. That's why it didn't quite hit properly in the 1-3 pocket. But Belmo, on the other hand,
that's probably ball of the match so far, because Belmonte had pressure. He knew what he needed to do. And when Jason starts shouting, we know he's happy.
Simon, I didn't want to say it, but that ball was in there like swimwear.
Oh, he's revving it up. He really is. That was a tribute to Nick Hawley. Actually, Chris Barnes on his profile says achievements in the last year, and he goes through all these different achievements. His last one is to survive a commentary stint with Nick Hawley in the booth. I tell you what, if the lane doesn't get you, Hawling will. Oh,
ouch.
Dear. Ouch indeed. There's a selection of pins being left by Barnes, and that's a clear indication that he's making changes. Probably not changes with his feet, Cass, more to do with his release.
Absolutely, and the rotation on the ball as well, as it goes into the pocket. To all intents and purposes, that looks like a perfect strike until that single pin stands up on the back row. so much power going into the pocket. He's not getting the deflection off the ball onto the pins, and that's why these odd pins stand up, and it causes so much problem for the scores because you're not catching the guy that's striking.
The indignity of another spare for Chris Barnes. This crowd as well, with some mixed feelings here. They love him, they love Chris, they'd love to see him defend his title, but at the same time Jason Belmonte has made himself a firm favourite here in Barnsley.
Oh, absolutely, yes. Everybody loves Jason. As we say, this could have been an absolute brilliant final, couldn't it? It is only the semi-final, and the winner will go through and bowl for the title.
He's on his way. Belmonte is on his way. That's 5 strikes in a row for him. And the questions are really being asked. Barnes has to strike next time up if Belmonte keeps playing like this.
Yeah, the gap opens to 35 pins in Belmonte's favour. Chris really has to make a move now. He really can't afford another 9 spare. Belmonte's looking unbeatable. Absolutely taking this lane to the cleaners, isn't he?
Well, it was Barnes who called it.
Absolutely, yeah.
He said he didn't want to play Belmonte in the semi. He said he was going to struggle. And he's given it everything but. What's he got here? Head pin. No, it was never looking good, was it?
That doesn't look good for Chris when he puts that frown on his face. He's gone from being slightly light in the pocket to slightly heavy in the pocket, leaving the 4-9 split, and is very fortunate for that 9 pin to go. So we have another single pin spare, and Chris's score is by comparison going backwards. Belmonte is the man that's going forwards, and it could well be that those spares cost Chris this semi-final match.
Well, how many times do we hear the word momentum in sport, and it's definitely Belmonte that has the momentum. Barnes just contemplating what else he needs to do. If anyone can come up with a solution, he will. He's one of the great technicians in the sport, probably one of the greatest ever. As he says, sometimes having all those shots at your disposal can work against you, because sometimes you don't know which one to pick. Belmonte's got no problems in that department. He just picks the one that makes the strike. That is superb. And if he's going to put this match away, this is the way to do it.
Well, 5 strikes in a row. Oh, excuse me, 6 strikes in a row. He's getting away from me. He's made the move. Barnes has been sparing. 4 spares in a row. Belmonte goes 6 strikes. He's made the move. There is daylight between them. And if Jason Belmonte can just keep the ball in play, he's going to be crossing that winning line first.
But he mustn't let that thought enter his head. This isn't over. He's got a huge advantage. But he's still on the lane with a man that knows how to get himself out of trouble. But this is it. This is pretty much last chance saloon here for Chris Barnes.
Virtually a must-strike situation.
Got it.
It's a good response. Could it be the start of something big? Could it be the start of a quick revival in the last 3 frames?
Well, he's kept working. He's stuck to his task. He could have just done without a couple of those spares that he's had. 5-2-2 is the maximum that Chris Barnes is on for if he can strike off the card from here. Belmonte, though, still in command. 5-6-8.
Yeah, 46 is a lot of pins with just 3 frames to go. And there you go. It can happen to the best of us and the best of players. Belmonte rings a 10 pin of a ball that it would have given him 7 strikes.